श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, devotional service. Let me open yesterday's sloka once. So yesterday we were discussing on 12.9. Yes, this is a sloka. Let me recite the sloka once. Ata chittam samadhatum na saknosi mayi sthiram abhyasa yogena tatho mam ichchaptum dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you can't fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Yesterday we have discussed on this shloka. Did anyone remember any points from yesterday's shloka, yesterday's discussion? Anybody wants to share some reflections? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if we do more devotional service, or so if we do devotional service, then we'll get attached to Krishna and we'll start loving Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Shriya. Yes. Yes, the more we do devotional activities, Krishna conscious activities, the more we develop love towards Krishna, and that is sadhana bhakti. That is called sadhana bhakti. As Avish Prabhu shared, there are two types of devotional service: sadhana and raganuga. Sadhana bhakti is a process where we follow regulations, as Krishna mentioned here, that follow the regulative principles of bhakti yoga, practice doing Krishna consciousness, then we develop the natural pure devotion, which is already present within us. We need to revive that love towards Krishna. That pure love towards Krishna, that bhakti is called Raganuga Bhakti. So we have seen yesterday why we need sadhana bhakti. Why can't we do naturally Raganuga Bhakti? Because we have, being a conditioned soul, we have this contamination, because of which our heart is not pure. Our heart is contaminated by material association. When we practice Krishna consciousness, then our natural love towards Krishna is revived. This is a whole process. Then how is Krishna consciousness practiced? There are a lot of regulative principles suggested by our gurus, our acharyas in our sampradaya to perform bhakti. So many. Some of them are rising up early, taking bath, and worshipping or taking darshan of the Lord, offering prayers, obeisances, chanting our prescribed rounds, doing some services to Krishna, beautiful sevas, deity worship, or offering some flowers to the Lord, cooking something, or taking prasadam, or bringing something for the Lord from the market, anything, editing posts or making codes for devotees, sharing it in the group, anything you can consider, or even hosting the discussion. So all these are some principles, some activities suggested in our Krishna conscious path. These are not some casual things. We are not discussing Bhagavad Gita daily because we have some time, we need to do some time pass, we need to pass over. No, that is not the purpose. This is a part of a Krishna conscious process. When one practice these regulations, then one can fix their mind on Krishna. That is Raganuga Bhakti. Thank you, devotees, for sharing. Today we'll go for 12.10. Let me recite the shloka. अभ्यासेऽपि असमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि अभ्यासेऽपि असमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि. Hare Krishna. Can anyone read the word to word meaning, translation and purport? Devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
I will
Krishna.
read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Can you read from here?
Abhyase, in practice. Api, even if. Asamarthaha, unable. Asi, you are. Mat karma, my work. Paramaha, dedicated to. Bhava, become. Mat artham, for my sake. Api, even. Karmani, work. Kurvan, performing. Siddhim, perfection. Avapsyasi, you will achieve. Translation. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then you just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Purport. One who is not able even to practice the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga under the guidance of spiritual master can still be drawn to the perfectional stage by working for the Supreme Lord. How to do this work has already been explained in the 55th verse of 11th chapter. One should be sympathetic to propagation of Krishna consciousness. There are many devotees who are engaged in the propagation of Krishna consciousness and they require help. So even if one cannot directly practice the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga, he can try to help such work. Every endeavor requires land, capital, organization, and labor. Just as in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor, and some organization to expand. So the same is required in the verse of Krishna. The only difference is that materialism on one work for sense gratification. The same work, however, can be performed for satisfaction of Krishna under spiritual activity. If one has sufficient money, he can help in building an office or temple for propagating Krishna consciousness, or he can help with publications. There are various fields of activity, and one should be interested in such activities. If one cannot sacrifice the result of his activities, the same person can still sacrifice some percentage of propagate Krishna consciousness. This voluntary service to cause of Krishna consciousness will help one to rise to a higher state of love for God, whereupon one becomes perfect. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare,
Prabhu.
Hare.
So if someone in the earlier shloka 12.9, Krishna explained that the highest stage is Raganuga Bhakti. Natural, pure devotion, unmotivated and uninterrupted. It is always without any deviation fixed on Krishna. There is a second one, that is sadhana bhakti, where one follows regulations and tries to practice Krishna consciousness, performing Krishna conscious activities. And even after that, there is another level, third level, that is Krishna presenting here, that is to work for Krishna. Karmani. So if someone cannot do this abhyasa, this practice of regulative principles, then one can perform karma for Krishna. By doing that, one achieves the siddha, the perfection. So how do we perform work? How do we work for Krishna? That is already mentioned in the 55th verse of 11th chapter. Let me once open that shloka. Eleven point 55. One minute, devotees. Hare Krishna. So here is the shloka. Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varchita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasa mam eti pandava. My dear Archana, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So here are some things that one needs to consider while working for Krishna without any contamination of fruitive activities, without any mental speculation, considering everyone as friendly. One needs to work for Krishna, considering Krishna as a supreme. So, so these are the ways one has to follow and work for Krishna. And even in that, working for Krishna, people are at different levels. Even in the third category, there are subcategories, sub levels, where some people can give more, some people can give less, or some people can work more for Krishna, or some people can work less for Krishna. Some people can work directly for Krishna, and some people they want to work something else, whatever they know, and a portion of the results they want to give to Krishna. They don't want this to be complete life. So based on their level, they perform work for Krishna, working for Krishna. As mentioned here, when one voluntarily does service to Krishna and the devotees, one gets the higher taste, love for God. So what is the use of working for Krishna or uh, serving devotees or serving Krishna? The use or the result is that we get the mercy of the devotees and mercy of Krishna. Our heart gets purified. How does that happen? Because when one performs work for Krishna, or when one gives something to Krishna, for example, you consider you have given some money. We are doing so many activities in our life. We have different business, different work, different professions. So some portion of the money that we get as a salary, we have given something for Krishna. Then we'll start looking for how is this money being invested. Are they using in temple? Are they feeding some poor people or needy people? Are they constructing a temple, new temple? How is my money being used? We get conscious. We get involved in the activities that are done. We see how is this Krishna consciousness getting propagated? Where is my money getting invested? In this way, one tries to get association of devotees. Naturally, it is not that they plan it. Somehow or other, they get interacted with devotees. So because of that association, one develops some taste towards Krishna, towards devotees, love towards Krishna, because they are thinking about Krishna. They are giving some portion of their hard work. They're working so much hard, and at the end they are giving the results. So they'll be concerned, where is this money being used? Only if one has some kind of positive side towards spirituality and Krishna consciousness, only they would invest their money or their work for Krishna. So in this way, one gets association of devotees, and also one feels to do more, because when you see that your money is getting involved in Krishna conscious activities, this is the highest welfare one can ever do to the society. Then we feel that okay, we are also a part of this propagation, where they are helping the people outside. So we are in one way trying to make people happy. So this will make us more happy, and this will help us to do more services, and the compassion within us will increase. Love towards others, compassion. You know what is the two things that makes people healthy? Anybody? This is not there in Bhagavad Gita. I heard it from some doctor saying this. Anyone? What makes you healthy?
Laughing, Prabhu.
Laughing. Okay, why do you laugh? Why do you laugh?
By getting inner feeling, some happiness.
No. See, laughing is good for health. That is right. But can you continuously 24 hours laugh without any reason or any
No.
purpose? No,
No
it's not
problem.
possible. Okay, you'll watch some comedy videos and you'll laugh. Okay, that's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. The whole day you can't laugh, right? So what is this thing that will make you healthy? Any other devotee?
By daily
Daily
some exercises.
exercises. Okay. Physical exercises, you are saying?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. I'll tell you the two things that I heard from a doctor. His name is BM Hedge. You can Google it. So what he says is that the two things that can make one healthy is, first thing, compassion towards other living beings. Compassion. The second thing, enthusiasm to work. What is that? Enthusiasm to work. If you have these two things, then you will be healthy in your life. See, every day we get up, oh, this Monday I have to go to college. Oh, from now I have to work. Again, the same cycle is happening, with full of laziness, full of dissatisfaction, and boredom. We go for work. No, this, if you're doing like this, then it will not make you healthy, because even though physically you may be happy, physically you may be healthy, but you need mental happiness. steady mind is required. Only then you can be healthy, because your body is a projection of your mind, and whatever you see, you perceive in this world is also a projection of your mind, your consciousness. So if you don't have this enthusiasm to work, you can't work for long. Even you work, you get frustrated. Personally, I have experienced it. This is true. You can ask any employee or any person who is working, who doesn't like his work. He gets a lot of frustration, and he puts the frustration and anger with their children, or with their friends, or with their family members, anywhere. He comes out of the workplace and he shows it there, or he'll show the frustration at the end of the leaving that company with his manager, whatever. So if you don't have this enthusiasm to work, you will not be happy. Even you may be forcefully you're working, so that you need some money or any other reason. That is one reason. That is one thing you have to remember. The second thing is compassion towards others. You don't love other people, you don't have compassion towards them. They are suffering. If you are saying, okay, let them suffer, or they have to suffer, you're feeling that you're hating others, you're getting jealousy. They're rising, they're growing in life, you are still the same person, the same dull fellow. That will not make you happy, healthy, because your own cells, we are made up of trillions and trillions of cells, body cells, and each cell has some system. If you hate others, then your own cells will hate your other cells, and that will cause physical diseases. That means the mental problems that you have, that will be reflected in your physical body. And one more thing, you don't have mental happiness, you can't eat properly. So there are a lot of other analysis in this. The two main points you have to remember is the enthusiasm to work. Then how do you get this enthusiasm? Even though you may not like the work that you are doing, but still you can do it with full enthusiasm. That is possible. How is that? If you feel that you want to please Krishna, whenever or wherever you are in your life, the only question that you need to ask yourself is, how can I please Krishna at this time with whatever I have in this situation? This one question you need to remember, and you need to ask yourself. So while working or while studying, you may not like it, but at that time, how can you please Krishna? You can please Krishna by doing your prescribed duty, what is mentioned for you. If you follow what is there for you, what is the dharma for you, then Krishna will be pleased. What are the material responsibilities, spiritual responsibilities we have? If we fulfill that, then Krishna will be pleased. Then you get this enthusiasm to work. That is one point. And second thing is compassion towards others. How do you get compassion towards others? Anyone? Compassion. Devotees? Okay. Yes, Shreya, you want to say something?
Prabhuji, by being kind to them, forgiving.
How do you be kind? How do you be kind?
Prabhuji, I think by seeing everybody equal.
How do you see them equal?
See God in all of them.
How can you
See
see
them
that?
as the soul.
Okay, how can you see them as a soul? So from tomorrow onwards, I will not call devotees Avesh Prabhu, Bhavika Mataji, or Hari Krishna Prabhu. I will call you Soul 1, Soul 2, Soul 3. So will that work?
No.
So how do we do that? See, compassion towards others is possible. Your answer is correct, but it's not completely correct, because you need to mention the process that will help you develop compassion towards others. What is the process? The process mentioned by our acharyas is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Only when we focus on Krishna, then we can understand the other beings as a part of Krishna. Yes, by seeing everyone as a part and parcel of Krishna. So here the center is Krishna. When we understand and focus on Krishna, then we see all the living and non-living, everything and everyone as a part and parcel of Krishna. Even material things also we start giving respect. We don't waste energy also. Though it doesn't have any life, but still we don't waste energy. This is energy of Krishna. So this is a process. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we develop that compassion towards others. This is not material compassion. That means, oh, they are feeling sad. This person is suffering a lot. Bodily compassion can help us, but alone will divert us. We need to remember this also. Because you can't go and help. There's an example, right, where a person is drowning and you can't go and bring out the dress of that person. That is not compassion. The real compassion is to save that person, which means to help the person understand what is this Krishna consciousness and how can he also develop compassion towards others. We can help that. So that is the real compassion. It is not that material compassion should not be there. That can be there, but that alone will divert us. So these two things we need to understand. So naturally, if a person practices Krishna consciousness, he'll be healthy. But I just want to mention it. The two things I want all the devotees, all the Gita for Youth members to follow. The first one, enthusiasm to work or to study, in which position you may be. And second one, develop compassion towards others. If these two are there, then you will be healthy. Remember this. Okay. So here, this work for Krishna is to be done in such a way that one can develop love towards Krishna. This may not be the perfected state, but that will lead us to the perfect state. Because after slowly doing this donation or offering or doing some sacrifice for Krishna and for the devotees, sacrifice itself has the word sacred within. That will help us transcend all these material attachments, and that will help us practice regulations in bhakti. That will help us go from category 3 to category 2. This is for today. I'll just read the shloka once. Abhyasye api asamarthosi matkarma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for Krishna. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions or comments? Devotees?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for patiently hearing. We'll end here. We'll continue tomorrow with 12.11. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining.